So in preparation for our ChatGPT coding session, we're going to need to install some things. And this tutorial is for Windows, and there's another one for Mac. So if you have a Mac, go and look at the Mac one. If you have a Windows PC, you're on the right place. And we're going to start by going to the Microsoft Store, and we're going to install two things here. The first one is Python, and the second one is Visual Studio Code. So first of all, we're going to search for Python, and we're going to install Python 3.11, which is the current version of Python. And next to that, we're going to install Visual Studio Code, which is the software where we're actually going to be writing the code. So it's this blue one, Visual Studio Code, and we're going to install that. Okay, so while it's doing that, if you haven't got a folder set up for our code yet, do that. So I've created a little folder on my desktop here called ChatGPT coding session, and that's just going to be where all the code is going to go that we're going to be working on in this session. And I'm going to load that into Visual Studio once that's installed in a second. So I guess it's probably done. Yep, here it is, recently added. So I can open that up, and then I can open that folder that I've created. So I'm going to go to my desktop where I have this folder, select the folder, and let that be loaded in. So there's no files in here, and yeah, it had some old files open. Anyway, there's no files in here, but we're going to create one now. So we're going to create a new file, and we're going to call it something like game.py. And so we can already see it's detected this as a Python file, and in fact, it even suggests to us that we install the Python extension. And we're going to press that install. And if that doesn't happen automatically, if you don't see that button, you come down here at the extensions menu on the left. You can also go Control-Shift-X to open that up. And then you search Python in the search bar, and you'll get this as the first result, and you can press install, and then you'll get that as well. And that will give us some advantages. It'll help us to actually write the Python. It'll color code it and all sorts of things. But in this case, the thing that we need to do is we need to install one more module that we're going to be using in the session. And in general, when you're working with ChatGPT and it generates code for you, it might include modules that you don't have installed. So if at some point it says, module not found, then you may need to go and do that yourself. So the way to install modules for Python, if you're using Visual Studio Code like I am, is to launch a terminal, go to New Terminal at the top from the menu bar, and it'll launch this PowerShell terminal. And in here, we're going to write Python space -m space pip space install space pygame, pygame. And if Python is installed correctly and everything's working, then this should work and install this pygame package. And if that works, if it says downloading and installing and so on, then that means it works. If it says couldn't find something, then you've got a problem. But in my case, it worked perfectly, and now I'm ready for the session. That's all you need to do. So I hope that goes smoothly for you as it did for me. And if not, let me know. I'm happy to help you out. And I'll see you in the session. Thanks.